Her Majesty, Queen Sofia, Member of the Prize Committee, His Royal Highness, Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, President of AGFUND and Chairman of the Prize Committee, Her Excellency, Dr. Yasmine Fouad, Minister of Environment of the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency, Dr. Sidi Ould Tah, Director General of the Arab Bank of Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, Mr. Ovais Sarmad, Deputy Executive Secretary of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Actions, Excellencies, the committee members of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development, Excellencies, the board members of the Arab Gulf Program for Development, AGFUND, Excellencies, the ambassadors and representatives of the organizations, winners of the prize, honorable guests. Welcome to the award ceremony of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development for the year 2021. Today, we are honoring 4 winners that have contributed to achieving climate action, the 13th goal of the UN Agenda for Sustainable Development. The Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development is an annual prize sponsored by the Arab Gulf Program for Development, AGFUND, since 1999. AGFUND was established in 1980 by the initiative of the late His Royal Highness Prince Talal bin Abdulaziz, with the support of the GCC leaders, to contribute to humanitarian and development work to which the United Nations were constituted. Therefore, AGFUND has supported the UN efforts, especially those related to women and children. Ladies and gentlemen, exploring and promoting successful and innovative development experiences serve as a basis of this prize. For more than 20 years, the $1 million prize has received escalating attention, which can be shown in the number of projects nominated for the prize from different countries. There were 1,890 projects nominated for the prize. Of these, 79 projects serving different development fields have won the prize since its establishment in 1999. Today's rewarding will not be the last. AGFUND is committed to continue this journey to honor future projects that contribute to sustainable development goals. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Nasser Al-Qahtani, the Executive Director of AGFUND, to deliver the opening remarks of our ceremony.
Good evening. Her Majesty Queen Sofia, member of Prince Talal Prize Committee, His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal, the President of AGFUND and the Chairman of the Prize Committee, His Excellency Dr. Yasmine Fouad, Minister of Environment in the Arab Republic of Egypt, His Excellency Mr. Sarmad, the Deputy Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change, His Excellency Sidi Ould Tah, AGFUND Board, the head of the coordination group. Welcome to the ceremony of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this annual gathering. We are honoring today the winners of Prince Talal International Prize for the Human Development for the year 2021 in the field of climate action, the 13 goals of the SDGs, which is why we hold this ceremony with the COP27. And thank you for the Secretariat and the effort and the Ministry of Environment to support us and inviting us to do so. Indeed, the world is facing multiple issues since COVID-19. No one can forget the total lockdown, the complication, the affected transportation, and the global supply chain. In a study carried out by AGFUND during the pandemic, SDG 2, Zero Hunger, was appointed as the most affected SDG by the pandemic. Even developed countries will suffer from shortage in food, as 70% of the global products comes from smallholder farmers in the rural area. With the current crisis facing the world, the situation has been worsened with the shortage of the crops and the result of increasing the price too. Therefore, AGFUND, along with the partner, decided to support smallholder farmers through financial inclusion. We think that financial inclusion is a strong tool and improve the level of the food security in different formats. We are working with the partner, Syngenta Foundation, through the Suez Capacity Building Facility to empower farmers through providing quality seed, agri-insurance, linked to the supply chain, and access to the financial service and the electronic payment and remittances. This project was implemented in Sudan with the support of His Royal Highness Prince Aziz, who was pushing us to do it during COVID-19. More than 50,000 beneficiaries, and it's meant to be scaling up into other African countries. Through that, we call a Resilient Center and Farm Hub that provide inclusive products and services to all smallholder farmers. Our experience shows that changing a net farmer return before and after, the use of improved fertilizer and other services for the same cultivated area of peanuts in Sudan production is more than 5 times. Imagine that small farmer could do it 5 times by accessing to this tool. In fact, selecting climate action by the Prize Committee as the theme of the prize year 2021 was timely due as more global attention is given to climate change. Once cannot pass through the climate impact without taking effect and efficient action related to the mitigation and adaptation. We all observing what took place in South Asia of flooding due to exceed rain and the several droughts that in Africa is experienced. Not to mention the escalating greenhouse gas emission that has reached an unprecedented level worldwide. From AGFUND perspective, we think that financial inclusion should be incorporated in the climate action balance, and the microfinance provider are well placed to promote climate change adaptation products and services. At AGFUND, we have been supporting all means of clean and renewable energy on the individual level. In Yemen, for example, we are currently partner with Saudi Development and Restructuring Program in Yemen to improve the level of 60,000 beneficiaries through the use of renewable energy and improve the quality of life of Yemenis. Through our local partner, Salah, Foundation for Development, and Amal Bank. Salah is the previous winner of Prince Talal Prize. The project was solar energy technology to operate 12 drinking water well, in addition to providing 35 irrigation systems using renewable energy, providing energy to 20 education institute and health facility, as well as many of houses. I would like to express my special thanks to our strategic partner, the Arab Bank of Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, led by His Excellency Sidi Ould Tah and his team, for the devoting and waiting in the joint with the AGFUND. BADEA and AGFUND have been strongly support for financial inclusion in Africa and Arab region. Jointly, we work in enhancing digital transformation and capacity building for financial microfinance institute in the region. Currently, we are cooperating and supporting agriculture sector in Nigeria, one of the most conflict city in Africa. We are also working to expand financial inclusion into Africa, and particularly for the small farmer. The prize meant to encourage innovation, creativity, and support distinguished effort in the human development. It's also work and replication the success project experience, highlighting the best practice that improve the living condition of the poor and disadvantaged people. In this regard, 22 out of 79 winning projects were eligible to receive additional funding from AGFUND for replicating and dissemination. Therefore, we urge our winner to replicate their project to fulfill prize objective. Thank you very much. Tonight, we are honoring four winner of the prize who have completed the climate action with 84 projects nominated, submitted from 39 countries. Congratulations to the winner, and we hope that the prize will inspire your work and endorse to climate change mitigation and adaptation. Last but not least, I would like to express sincere thanks and gratitude to the Arab Republic of Egypt and UNFCCC for hosting the ceremony of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development, and for their close collaboration, exceptional preparation, and generous hospitality to make our event successful. I would like to call the nomination. I'd like to call for the nomination from partner to nominate a project for 2021 cycle and the theme of decent work and economic growth, the 8th goal of SDGs. Please visit AGFUND website for more information. Congratulations for the winner again, and then I wish you all the success. Please, let's work to accelerating the SDGs and achieving the vision of leaving no one behind. Thank you very much. We'd like to apologize on behalf of the Minister of Environment, Dr. Yasmine. She received an urgent call and she got to leave, but we will miss her, you know, and we would like to appreciate what she have been doing with AGFUND for almost 6 months together we work together to have a workshop for climate action and the role of the NGOs. And on behalf of all AGFUND team, we really show the appreciation to the Minister and her team. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Al-Qahtani, for this elaborate, informative, and valuable speech. Indeed, AGFUND's effort to support development both regionally and internationally to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals cannot go unnoticed. As Dr. Nasser just mentioned, unfortunately, Her Excellency couldn't make it with us today. And Arab Republic of Egypt is always supporting the world climate change adaptation and mitigation efforts. We appreciate the way the Egyptian government is taking action towards tackling climate change. Now, I'm pleased to welcome His Excellency Dr. Sidi Ould Tah, Director General of BADEA, to the stage to make his speech.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa sallallahu ala nabi al-Kareem. Your Majesty, Queen Sofia, member of the Prince Talal Prize Committee, His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal Al Saud, President of the Arab Gulf Program for Development AGFUND, and Chairman of the Prince Talal Prize Committee. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Al Jasser, President of IDB Group, Excellencies, member of the Prize Committee, Excellencies, member of the AGFUND Board of Directors, head of ACG institutions, Excellency Mr. Ovais Sarmad, Deputy Executive Secretary of UNFCCC, dear winners of the prize, Excellencies, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. It is indeed an immense pleasure and a great honor to address your August gathering to celebrate key achievers of development across the world, the winners of Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development on SDG 13, Climate Action for the year 2021. His Royal Highness, late Prince Talal bin Abdulaziz, the founding president of AGFUND, had a remarkable passion for philanthropy and a solid belief in the importance of solidarity and compassion for humanity. We all remember his famous saying, "Human being is human being, whoever exists." His Royal Highness, late Prince Talal, has dedicated his life and effort to alleviate the suffering of poor groups in developing nations, particularly women and children. His noble mission have identified him among the most leading philanthropists and humanitarians in the world, and one of the most distinguished Arab personalities known for their outstanding contribution in the field of development, particularly sustainable development for human beings. It is reassuring that His Royal Highness, Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal Al Saud, has the same passion for human development. So AGFUND will remain highly relevant, effective, and expanding to support the progress of the development and evolving new initiatives that address the main issues of development imbalances and as they emerge globally. This year's award ceremony comes at a special time and a special event, COP27, which is known as the COP of implementation, where we all are gathered to ensure that we deliver on the commitment made to combat climate change and protect the future of our planet and humanity. The selection of the COP27 to honor the award winners comes as a strong testimony of AGFUND's commitment to promote sustainable development through encouraging and motivating global champions of sustainability, climate change, mitigation, gender equality, and technology innovators. Her Majesty, His Royal Highness, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, is honored to be given this opportunity to highlight BADEA and AGFUND partnership, which is founded on strong complementarity and mutual interest in advancing sustainable development and knowledge transfer between the Arab region and Africa. AGFUND has a great track record in promoting education accessibility and affordability from preschool education, which is proven to shape the future outcome of children education, to the open university higher education that provide high quality education with equal opportunities to all. AGFUND dedicated special focus for women empowerment through civil society support and financial inclusion with a firm gender lens on investment, financial inclusion, expanding AGFUND banking network across the Arab world and Africa. The digital divide and financial inclusion remain to be among the key challenges facing Africa to achieve the SDGs. AGFUND has a proof record of deploying digital technologies, promoting innovative solutions for financial inclusion, and building household financial resilience to shocks through promoting saving programs to enhance financial inclusion in extremely challenging ecosystems. As member of the Arab Coordination Group, AGFUND and BADEA partnered to replicate and transfer knowledge of the successful models of innovation banks, Bunuk al-Ibda', established by AGFUND to Africa. One of the many partnership fruits that we are both proud of is our joint effort in developing innovative financing instruments and improved access to agricultural inputs and insurance among small farmers to enhance their resilience and scale up their productivity and contribution to food security, agricultural value chain across the African continent. Stemming from the shared belief between AGFUND and BADEA that through empowering women civil societies, we can fast-track development and address most of the barriers, including community-led climate response. This is why we are currently working jointly to replicate the success story of Kawthar, the Arab Center for Women Training and Research, to leverage the role of civil societies in women and economic empowerment in Africa. I want also to flag a tripartite initiative of AGFUND, Islamic Development Bank, and BADEA to support community-led initiatives for provision of integrated project solution in Borno State in Nigeria to address the key challenges related to food security, climate change, women empowerment, and youth employment. The joint project will definitely be a transformative project with a wide development impact in many aspects. I am also pleased that today is also a special day for us, the member of the Arab Coordination Group, as the group has announced a common pledge to provide at least $24 billion in financing by 2030 to address the global climate crisis. BADEA remains committed and stands and work with AGFUND and member of the ACG group and all stakeholders to deliver on our promise of making Africa climate resilient, effective contributor to mitigation and food secure. Congratulations to the winner and wish you a great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sidi, for your moving words. I would like to seize the opportunity to express my gratitude to BADEA for its unique and fruitful partnership with AGFUND in Africa. Now, I'm honored to invite Mr. Ovais Sarmad, Deputy Executive Secretary of United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, to make his speech.
Assalamu alaikum, and good evening, and a warm welcome to all of you, especially Her Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Dr. Al-Khatani, and other excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be here on behalf of United Nations Climate Change Secretariat. We are hosting this together with our hosts, Government of Egypt. Unfortunately, Minister Fouad is not here, but she's with us because we're doing this together. This event comes at a time when the world is facing enormous challenges from every aspect. The wars, the inflation, the supply chain problems, and many other issues in almost all parts of the world. But the biggest threat facing humanity and the future, and especially the future of our children and grandchildren, is climate change. And this conference and this event and why we are here all together is about addressing climate change. To stop global warming, to reverse the addiction that we have to unsustainable ways of living, and move to greener, more sustainable ways of living and consuming. And climate change, as has been highlighted, has become also an extremely important part of human development. And human development cannot be separated from addressing climate change. So we have to do that together. And to achieve this, there is a very important agreement that was agreed by all countries of the world, 197, which are all present here in the conference, is Paris Agreement. And what Paris Agreement requires all of us to do is to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees centigrades by the end of the century. But unfortunately, we are already between 1.1, 1.2 degrees centigrades of warming. And that, as you can see, the impacts of that around the world is creating enormous problems. And every fraction of a degree of warming translates into loss of lives, human lives, and loss of livelihoods of many people in vulnerable countries, in low-lying islands. So this is what we are talking about. But at the same time, climate change is a unifying force. Addressing climate change is a unifying force because it has no boundaries, it has no geopolitical connections. So addressing climate change can unify all of us, countries, societies, religions around the world, and especially the youth. The youth have woken up and they're asking for us to take decisive action. Because if we don't, then we have an enormous moral and ethical responsibility on our shoulders, because we would be passing on the environment in a very bad state and condition to the next generation. And that is a huge responsibility that we must all avoid. So I very much welcome this year's theme of climate action in this award that you're presenting today. And the young generation will be most affected by what will happen here in COP27. And we are working very hard to get all countries to agree on very important climate action commitments that they have to take. And in that, one of the most important things is about providing finance. So I'm very pleased to see AGFUND, BADEA, and other stakeholders here who are recognizing the need for providing finance. and not just providing finance, not money on the table, but making sure that that finance reaches the projects and the people in many parts of the world that need the most. So this is very important. So these awards that represent today exactly that action, that kind of action that we need from all parts of the world and different stakeholders. So I congratulate you, and I thank especially Prince Talal, yourself, your Highness, Your Majesty, for being here and for gracing this event and being at COP and supporting climate action, which is extremely important, and we will look forward to working very, very closely with all of you here and hope that we will address this issue, the challenge that we are all facing. Thank you very much, and I look forward to this event.
Thank you, Mr. Sarmad, for your fine speech and highlighting the important collaborations to push forward solutions related to climate change. I also want to thank you, the UNFCCC, for giving us the chance to showcase the winners of climate action. Now, I'm pleased to invite Dr. Ali Abu Sinna on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Yasmine Fouad to deliver the speech.
Thank you very much, and His Royal Majesty, Princess Abdulaziz bin Talal, His Majesty Queen Sofia, I would like first to appreciate your invitation, and I would like to thank you very much and convey the best regards from Her Excellency Dr. Yasmine Fouad and Abdul guys for this very urgent call. She has to go for a very urgent meeting with President Sisi. And I would like to highlight our very appreciation for the idea of this prize. It's really touching the very important goals for sustainable development, and it comes very well matched with the goal for what we are doing right now related to how we can move forward the agenda of climate change and going forward for the implementation. It's really important to encourage such innovative ideas, supporting them to move forward and to be upscaled and achieve the goal that we all targeting. As you all know that we are in a very big challenge facing how we can really match with the climate change impact, and we highly emphasize on how we go for the adaptation and mitigation process to really keep the environment and the earth, the whole earth, safe for the next generation. So would like to appreciate this effort. We're very appreciate our close cooperation and support from His Royal Highness Princess Abdullah. And I think this is something that we would like to take forward and has to be really upscaled, and the success stories that will be presented and will be celebrating today should be really a benchmark that could be transferred to other championship to go forward with the implementation of our climate change. Again, I would like to thank you very much for this, and we would like to continue our really mutual cooperation for the future, better future generation. And thank you and Abdul guys for His Excellency Her Excellency couldn't attend and continue the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali. Her Majesty, Queen Sofia, member of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development, we are pleased to invite Your Majesty to give your speech.
Your Royal Highness, ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to honor the winners of the 2021 Prince Talal International Prize for their contribution to combat climate change and its impacts. As we all know, climate change can affect our health, ability to grow food, housing, safety, and work. Some people are already more vulnerable to climate impacts, such as those living in small island nations and other developing countries. Therefore, the Prize Committee dedicated the 2021 prize to identify distinguished projects that respond to climate disasters, reward them, and disseminate their innovative ideas. On behalf of the Prize Committee, I wish to thank His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal, President of AGFUND and Chairman of the Prize Committee, for his commitment to fulfill the goals of the prize. I would also like to express the committee's congratulations and gratitude to the award winners for their dedicated work in the field of climate action, the 13th goal of the Sustainable Development Goals. Electricians Sans Frontières in Togo, Gujarat Mahila Housing Sewa Trust in Bangladesh, India, and Nepal. World Geospatial Industry Council and Alternative Indigenous Development Foundation Incorporated in the Philippines. I wish to thank AGFUND for its efforts, which are contributing without a doubt to meet the organization's objectives of helping the most disadvantaged, thus making many people's dreams come true. And what is very important, I think, is trying to make people aware of the problem. I would like to take this opportunity in the COP27 taking place at Sharm El Sheikh in Egypt, and to thank scientists, organizations, and institutions for their interest and effort to continue the daily battle against climate change. Nominations are still open for the 2022 prize under the subject Decent Work and Economic Growth, the 8th goal of the Sustainable Development Goals. I hope we will meet soon again, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Majesty, for your continuous support and the time you dedicate to assist in achieving of the objectives of the prize. Now, I'm pleased to invite His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal bin Abdulaziz, President of AGFUND and Chairman of the Prize Committee, to deliver his speech.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Your Majesty Queen Sofia, Your Excellencies, AGFUND Board of Directors, Committee Member Prize, and of course, heads of the institutions of the Arab Coordination Group, honorable winners, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maybe we should change the way we do our speeches, and maybe one of us should start singing just to change the environment here a little. It is my great pleasure to welcome you in this ceremony in which we are honoring the pioneers in climate action from around the world. 4 winners of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development on the sidelines of Conference of the Parties COP27, hosted by the Arab Republic of Egypt and Sharm El Sheikh. Since establishment of the prize in 1999, the Arab Gulf Programme for Development, AGFUND, was keen that the prize would be considered as a global tool for exploring and honoring innovative and successful development projects, which can be inspired for expansion and replication in various countries of the world to find solutions to problems and obstacles facing the inclusive and sustainable development process. The Committee of Prince Talal Prize decided to align the annual themes of the prize with the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 adopted by the United Nations. We believe in climate change and the effects it may have on our planet. Therefore, climate action, the 13th goal of the Sustainable Development Agenda, was selected as the subject of the 2021 prize. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very fortunate that Egypt is hosting COP27, a global platform for making decisions and moving forward and mobilizing efforts to deal with this unprecedented threat. Hosting such a global event in the Arab region is of particular importance, as it is one of the most vulnerable regions to the impacts of climate change. Therefore, this is such a valuable opportunity to shed light on the efforts made and initiatives launched in the region, such as the Saudi and Middle East initiatives, which confirms that governments and communities are determined to deal seriously with this challenge and are ready to enter into effective global partnership to contain this imminent danger. We hope that selecting climate action as the subject for Prince Talal International Prize will contribute to launching global initiatives to restore hope, support unique efforts in this field, enhance opportunities for exchanging ideas and experiences, as well as to develop mechanisms and solutions. We highly appreciate the declaration adopted by the Arab Coordination Group devoted on climate action for equitable development and the pledge of $24 billion to adaptation and mitigation and resilience of climate change and food security, including supporting smallholder farmers in the least developed countries. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me on your behalf to congratulate the 4 winners of the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development for the year 2021. The first category winner, the project implemented by Electricians Without Borders, titled Renewable Energies for Essential Services in line with SDG 13 in Togo, represented today by the Executive Director, Mr. Alexander Anguar. The second category winner, the project implemented by Jurarat Mahila Housing Siwa Trust, MHT, titled Women's Action Towards Climate Resilience of Urban Poor in South Asia, India, Bangladesh, and Nepal, represented today by the Executive Director, Ms. Bijal Brahambat. The third category winner, the project implemented by World Geopolitical in the Geospatial Industry Council, WGIC, titled Leveraging Commercial Capabilities for Climate Action on the SDGs through Mapping and Earth Observations, implemented worldwide and represented today by the Executive Director, Ms. Barbara Ryan. The fourth category winner, the project implemented by Alternative Indigenous Development Foundation, Inc., AIDFI, titled Pumping Water Uphill to Develop Climate Resilience Villages and Farms in the Philippines. It is represented today by the Executive Director, Mr. Oke Aidzenga. Congratulations again to the representatives of those pioneering projects, which AGFUND will work closely with to expand and replicate to other parts of the world. My sincere gratitude to all who contributed to the success of the ceremony. And if you allow me, I would like to thank two individuals. Her Excellency, the Minister of Environment, first of all, for having the time to attend the opening of the prize, and at the same time, for her great work during COP27 and all the efforts she is doing with the Egyptian government. Honestly, everywhere we went in COP27, the UNFCCC and the Egyptian government has done great work in all the efforts, not just in COP27, but in other COPs as well. The second thank you I would like to give is to Ms. Buthaina, one of our AGFUND team, and today was her first time to host such an event, and I would like everyone on their behalf to thank her. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness, for your speech and for a crucial and long-standing role you have played in the development of the prize since its establishment by the late His Royal Highness Prince Talal bin Abdulaziz. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are honoring the winning projects in the field of climate action, which represents the 13th goal of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. The fourth category prize is worth $100,000 and is specified for projects initiated, funded, or implemented by individuals. The winner of the fourth category prize is a project titled Pumping Water Uphill to Develop Climate-Resilient Villages and Farms, that was implemented in the Philippines by the Alternative Indigenous Development Foundation. Let's now see a short film about the winning project.
AGFUND is a Philippine social enterprise which has a major mission of pumping water uphill to change lives in waterless communities. It does so through a holistic program around the AGFUND model hydraulic ram pump, a device which pumps water from lower to higher elevation without the use of fuel or electricity and emission of greenhouse gases. The environment-friendly RAM systems, which very much relate to SDG 13, are installed for drinking and household purpose in waterless upland communities, where previously an average of 40 liters of water was carried over distances and elevations. This created many challenges around the household. RAM pumps are also used for irrigation on rain-fed farms, where production in the past was limited and risky. The public expects the uplanders to protect the environment and water sources, but do not have easy access to water themselves. For survival, they engage in environmental unfriendly activities during dry seasons. The difficult life in the uplands results in youngsters migrating to cities, leaving an aging farmers' population and threatening food security. In the installations, the formation of water associations is key for the sustainability. Also vital are the mechanical water kiosks, which ensure fair distribution and collection of fees from the release of 20 liters of water for each peso coin. AGFUND has already set up 595 village ram pump systems with over 290,000 beneficiaries. With the prize money from the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development, 3 village ram pump systems will be built. This will result in easy access to an increased volume of water with less skin diseases, waterborne diseases, and neck and spinal problems, better sanitation, cleaner houses, easier laundry activities, better nutrition from vegetables and animals, and water-related livelihoods. For farmers, the water can help them survive or add a crop or diversify the farm, making agriculture attractive to the youth.
AGFUND admires how this project combines this achievement of 3 important SDGs, fulfilling of this year's mission on climate action, as well as goal number 3, good health and well-being, and goal number 6, clear water and sanitation. The third category prize is worth $200,000 and is specified for the projects of the governmental bodies, which include ministries and public institutions, social business, as well as the private sector institutions that support the social sector. The winning of the third category prize is the project titled Leveraging Commercial Capabilities for Climate Action on the SDGs through Mapping and Earth Observation, that was implemented worldwide by World Geospatial Industry Council. Now we are going to see a video of the winning project.
Climate change is one of the most significant challenges facing our planet, the ecosystem, and life as we know it. Governments worldwide are committed to climate action and controlling the rise in global temperatures. Reducing GHG emissions is critical to these efforts. For decades, governments launched satellites to monitor the Earth's climate and especially GHG emissions at a global level. Industrial activities is a massive contributor to emissions, and the emissions data for industrial facilities are missing. With the evolving capabilities of the private sector, we will now have satellite data to monitor emissions from individual industrial facilities. WGIC, in partnership with Climate Trace and the Group on Earth Observations, has worked to bring a focus on this topic. We presented our findings at the Earth Information Day 2021 during COP26. This report helps governments identify satellite missions focused on GHG emissions monitoring. Further into this work, we found that the most vulnerable stakeholders don't have the necessary understanding and access to Earth observation and geospatial technologies that can help them on issues related to climate change. Thanks to AGFUND and the Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development, WGIC will work to address these gaps. At COP27, WGIC commits to helping the most vulnerable with access to geospatial data and tools for climate action. And we welcome you all to collaborate with us.
As you can see, WGIC is utilizing cutting-edge technology to provide fresh perspectives on climate action through mapping and Earth observations. I would also inform you that this is the first social business project to win the prize. The second category prize is worth $300,000 and is specified for the national NGOs projects. The winner of the second category prize is the project titled Women's Action Towards Climate Resilience of Urban Poor in South Asia, that was implemented in Bangladesh, India, and Nepal by Mahela Housing Trust. Now, let's watch a film of the winning project.
In summer 2021, the COVID pandemic peaked in India. So too did the temperature. Delhi continues to reel under a heat wave as temperatures touched 45 degrees.
This heat is intolerable.
How hot is it?
Hot. Get me some water, child. Sheikila Beno is a grandmother with a household of 6. It is often impossible to escape the heat. Sheikila's home gets so hot that her family spends much of the day in the street.
What has happened to her?
These are boils caused by the heat. This is how we spend the daytime. It's hotter in the evenings, so we can't sleep at night, not even on the roof. It's very difficult.
People search for affordable ways to keep cool. Ahmedabad has suffered some of India's worst heat waves. Temperatures regularly reach 42 and even 48.
My name is Bijal Brahmbhatt from Mahila Housing Trust, India. I am extremely humbled and honored to receive this Prince Talal International Prize for 2021. This prize will now encourage and strengthen the leadership of poor women who are working on climate change initiatives in India. In fact, the 15,000 poor women leaders who have been trained by us will now make this into a movement by taking it across South Asia. I also share this prize with my colleagues at Mahila Housing Trust, whose hard work have ensured that the seeds of this initiative, which were sown in 2015, have now blossomed into a tree. Again, some of the smaller cities in India, which are urbanizing very fast, do not have the technical and financial capacity to start looking at urban development, which would also take care of climate change issues. Such cities have invited us to work on a city level, where again, our poor women leaders will take lead to develop city level plans. For example, the city of Amalner has invited us to look at the greening of the entire city. The city of Jodhpur has invited us to help them develop a heat action plan. Mahila Housing Trust's own team will need a lot of capacity building on usage of forecasting technologies to be able to do such initiatives. And the award will also help us to build our own capacities. Besides this, we have also started work on heat insurance and excessive rain insurance for poor women in urban areas, which is the first of its kind. And the award will also contribute to develop those initiatives further. After receiving the award, we will actually expand our work in 2 more cities in India, Delhi and Bangalore. We are currently working in 5 cities. We will add 2 more. In Delhi, we will be working on water-sensitive urban design, and in Bangalore, we will be trying to build a coalition around just transition in cities, which would also look at the issues of climate change and bringing in the voices of poor women. We will also work with our partners in South Asia to take this initiative to Nepal and Bangladesh.
We can't wait to see how these NGOs expand their work in different cities, developing initiatives such as heat action plans and empowering women in the process. The first category prize is worth $400,000 and is specified for the projects of the UN, international and regional organizations. The winner of the first category prize is the project titled Renewable Energies for Essential Services in line with SDG 13. That was implemented in Togo by Electricians Without Borders. Let's see a video featuring the winner of the first category prize.
A few kilometers away from the town of Notsi, in the plateau region of Togo, many villages are not connected to the electricity grid. Beyond the absence of electricity, communities also live without direct access to water and sanitation. Women and young people are the most affected because many related tasks fall on their shoulders. This means walking distance on a daily basis to fetch drinkable water, exposed to hygiene and health issues, and using energy sources harmful for health and the environment. This also affects dispensaries and schools in the region. Forced to provide care for rudimentary lighting, they work in precarious conditions and without a water supply system. This is why Electricians Without Borders, along with NGOs Friends of Togo and Aquasistance, developed a program to provide sustainable access to electricity, quality water, and sanitation. The solution is designed to be completely autonomous. Photovoltaic panels and batteries store solar energy during the day, which is then available throughout the night. A water tower is filled from a borehole. The solar-powered pumping system allows water distribution closer to where it's needed. A flexible water tank collects and stores rainwater, which is then filtered and treated. It secures and completes the water supply when that from the borehole is insufficient. A pilot project has already been implemented. Installation of water taps in the village, sanitation works, installation of latrines, showers, and dustbin shelters, access to electricity, and water in dispensaries and schools. The installation of water points has immediate effects. Diseases are less frequent. Infant mortality declines. School results show notable improvements. The project teams are also working in collaboration with local apprentices following vocational training. This provides hands-on practical experience, developing local professional expertise, thus contributing to the empowerment of the region. The teams also support local committees in the management of the installations, from the financial aspects to the technical maintenance. There are numerous outcomes: sanitary, social, economic, and environmental. Through this program, Electricians Without Borders has already improved the living conditions and access to healthcare and education of more than 100,000 people. Its replication in Togo and its expansion to other countries are already planned. Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development will allow us to replicate our project implemented in Togo, increasing the number of villages targeted and beneficiaries. Thanks to the scaling up of our standardized solution, this international recognition gives us the
As we have just witnessed in the video, electricity impacts a community in many ways beyond the power grid. It gives them access to sanitation, education, leadership opportunities, and more. Now, I would like to invite Her Majesty, Queen Sofia, and His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Talal bin Abdulaziz and Dr. Nasser Al-Qahtani to award the trophies. Okay. Will Mr. Oak Adzinga, the Chief Executive Officer of the Alternative Indigenous Development Foundation, the fourth category prize winner, make his way to the stage to receive the first award of the evening? Okay. Now I want to welcome the third category prize winner, Mr. Barbara Ryan, the Executive Director of World Geospatial Industry Council, to the stage to accept her award. you. I'm glad now to invite Ms. Bijal Brambhat, Director of Mahela Housing Trust, to the stage to accept the award of the second category prize. Okay. Finally, will Mr. Alexander Andre, the Executive Director of Electricians Without Borders, make it to the stage to receive the first category prize? Group photo, yeah. Okay. I would like to invite all the winning projects representatives for a group photo, please. Okay. Yes, yeah. I would like to invite, on behalf of Her Excellency Dr. Yasmine Fouad, I would like to invite Dr. Ali Abu Sinna to accept a small recognition from AGFUND. Yeah. I would like to acknowledge the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, BADEA, who have always supported AGFUND. This trophy goes to our strategic partner, BADEA, represented by His Excellency Dr. Sidi Ould Tah. Lastly, I want to give this award to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, represented by Mr. Ovais Sarmad. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. We express our thanks and gratitude to you for attending the ceremony of Prince Talal International Prize for Human Development. Okay. Bye-bye.
سعيدة ومليئة لكم على نجاح الكونفرنس يعني فعلا عمل ممتاز لا لا نقدر الظروف لا لا بس يعني من السعداء مصر نجاح كل العرب طبعا كل العرب سعداء جدا وحجم الاستقبال حجم النجاح يعني شيء يعني يسعد.
انتوا يعني شرفتونا، باركوا طبعا. لا لا خلاص انا صورت.